And it starts off with a best of 7 round, which someone like O'Sullivan would look to get beyond and get into the longer matches. Things can be a little nervy over 7 frames.
Bad miss. Shows how nervous he still is.
Yeah, didn't get close to it. This was quite a long way off. Of course, he was worried about the red he was going to go into.
One.
Oh, now we're going to see what sort of touch he's in. As Alan McManus pointed out, he was practicing for a good while last evening. I saw him on the practice table again today.
9.
He's putting the work in.
There's so many tournaments on the circuit these days that you can play in one just about every week if you want to.
16.
Now, the minds of players just won't stand playing every week, so they have to prioritise. And it was interesting that O'Sullivan passed up the chance of a £200,000 first prize in Guangzhou, China last week in favour of the champion of champions.
Well, he likes his tournament. Of course he would do, having won it twice, but he's always said it's the kind of event that suits him to play in and be involved in. And he is a great champion, so he fits very nicely into this tournament.
Yes, I think one of the things he likes about it is that there's very little hanging around.
31.
Today he'll play a maximum of 2 matches, and then he can go home for a few days before Friday semi-finals, if indeed he wins today's group.
32.
Looks like he might consider the pink to the middle, because there's 2 reds potable now to the left corner. I don't think he played on them. Of course, from the black he could get up there as well. Onto those 2 reds. Swinging the cue ball around the table. Beautiful touch as ever. That was a shot that could have gone wrong, played perfectly.
39. 40.
Well, the key here is to keep taking high value colours so that the 2 reds on the left cushion aren't needed. And he can get there. And he's looked at the scores a couple of times, I think, for that reason. Lead of 30 points. Takes even 2 red pinks. That'll be 44 in it, with only 43 on. That's what match play snooker's all about. I'm not saying he wouldn't pop the 2 reds anyway, but it's nice not to need them.
$60. 61.
Frame ball then.
Ah, beautiful shot, beautiful shot.
68.
Some of the
69.
cannons that O'Sullivan has played over the years, everyone knows the shot they want to play, but to actually execute them, nudging balls out into the open,
76.
quite marvellous. He's got great touch. don't think the yellow pot's into all that many pockets. Obviously the middle bags, but that's all.
That's why he preferred the pink to the black.
$83. 85.
Still a big problem in terms of completing the century because of the position of the brown.
That's going to have to be a good one, isn't it? That's a very good effort to finish there all the same. Doesn't make this shot any easier down the cushion rail.
88 on the first frame.
Ronnie O'Sullivan needed only one scoring visit. 85 it was. He leads Robin Hull by a frame to nil.
Welcome back to the Champion of Champions and the opening match of the 2016 tournament. It's Ronnie O'Sullivan against Robin Hull. O'Sullivan has taken the opening frame. This is now the second in this race to 4 with Hull to break.
A couple of chances in the opening frame before O'Sullivan secured it with a break of 88.
Ronnie with the same problem that Robin was faced with in the first frame. It's the red on the right cushion which is causing him an issue. Getting back up the table and avoiding it. There's two ways of doing it. Hit the red thin or hit it thicker and bring the cue ball quite close to the right corner pocket and getting up the table. I think he's going the thick angle. And that's how you do the shot. That's how that is played to perfection. Again, not so easy as it looked that. The natural line is to go into the red on the rail. Well, he certainly looked at those two reds, and I don't think they were dead set as a plant, but it was a natural angle to come up and straighten it and make it potable. He saw Ronnie there a little bit disappointed to have offered that chance. Maybe feels a bit unlucky. I've said it before, but Robin Hull is a very fine player. Of course, we know there are lots on the tour, but he's a real purist sort of player in amongst the balls. Very, very decent. Of course, not in the O'Sullivan League, but he really can play. It's a big occasion for him, and that was another edgy one. Try to go in behind the black and onto it, Clive.
Yeah, trying to come round the black.
You can only see the black now. I mean, I don't know if he might even still go for this, but whatever he does, I suspect he'll try and get the cue ball out of there. Out of harm's way, perhaps. Big shot to go for. Well, his mind was made up, and it was very well played.
That'll make him feel an awful lot better.
12.
Those thin cuts along the rail are very tricky.
30. $20. 21.
easier to say than do, but when you're playing one of the game's superstars, rule one is not to contribute to your own demise by making unforced errors, by missing balls that you would never normally miss.
Well, that has not worked out very well. Glued to the side of the bunch.
28.
There it is again. I'm sure he played a firmer contact on that right-hand red, but well, the cue ball finishing there is as bad as it gets. There's no pot available.
Robin Hull, 28.
Well, it was a chance that really was shaping up there when he broke down. Ronnie in no trouble here, but he's just trying to find a really good escape route to get the cue ball in behind something. No, that was not as played, of course.
Very favourable run of the ball that for O'Sullivan, flicking off the green in behind the brown.
As you can see, not touching, which would have suited Ronnie. Could have played away and just got the cue ball directly up the table.
Very nice arena this, one of the arenas at the Rico Arena.
Once again, Ronnie not able to get to many reds. Certainly the red that's just around the black spot he can glance off. The question of where all the other reds go, I think, because it hit the red and perhaps the black as well.
Well, that's developed the black.
Yes, Clive, and he'd always want to do that, I think, against someone who he feels he'll outscore. Put the pressure on Robin Hull now with that last shot. Shouldn't be underestimated how good these safety players, these players are now. They're very good tactically. Even that last shot, as Robin's got a difficult one here. And he could go cushion first if he thinks it's a little straight, but that is missable.
Tough shot.
1.
I don't think he had much of a plan there, actually. Certainly it wasn't to end up on probably the brown. Just a little bit of pressure on this shot, given that he's coming down towards the reds. He's not a gimme, this shot.
Five. Six.
O'Sullivan's putting everything into this, giving every shot proper consideration. He's really dialed in, seems to me.
$11. $12.
I think Ronnie's in that list of players, the likes of Steve Davis, Stephen Hendry, and all these guys who treat everything as a failure but a tournament victory. Losing in a final wouldn't really impress him. Other players are just pleased to be at the latter stages of something they feel they've achieved
90.
quite a lot. I don't think Ronnie's like that.
20. $27. 28.
Ronnie just playing into an area where he thought reds would be available, and once again, it really wasn't his idea to pot this red down the table. But he'll take it. And he's got it.
34.
But that shot, finishing top side of the blue, presents no positional worries now.
$39. 40. $47.
These were two good opportunities that he was left with, where in frame one he made a break of 88, and he's going to make something similar here, but it's still lovely to watch him play. Just the way that he does it, the way he's always gone about this game, the style in which he's won tournaments, championships.
54.
Always pleasing to the eye, never boring.
55. $61.
Well, the frame is safe with the next
62.
colour.
An immaculate positional shot.
68.
Keeps him on course
69.
for a century. It would be his 830th. He went past Stephen Hendry's record of 775. and
76.
some people believe that he could make 1,000 before his career is done.
79. $83. $88.
All around the houses.
94.
Lovely shot.
So
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
that superb century, 101, following his break of 88 in the opening frame, carries O'Sullivan to a 2-0 lead.
Welcome back to the Champion of Champions tournament from Coventry. It's the opening day and the opening match from Group 3, featuring 2014 winner Ronnie O'Sullivan and the Finnish player Robin Hull. O'Sullivan took the opening 2 frames, with Hull coming back in the third. This is now the fourth. Commentary from Neil Folds and Clive Everton.
Oh, what a shot.
And well worth taking on, because that was the only red he could leave had he missed it.
Yes, he played that quite comfortably as well, Clive. He didn't just drop it in, he hit it with enough pace to get the cue ball through the reds that were in the way.
8.
The kick.
9.
One that he got away with, it definitely jumped. There you saw it, but he still found a way of getting onto the black. Could have been one of those kicks that's actually a blessing in disguise. I don't think he would have gone into the bunch there. It wasn't the plan, not at that early stage.
60.
They've got plenty of choices here. Reds to either middle pocket. The one in the left middle, if it's straight, I think he'll take it on, because he can get low on the cue ball back for the black.
$70.
Well, it makes me think that if he's on the red to the middle, he'll have to go up for a lower value colour. That was an
24.
uncharacteristically poor shot. They'd be disgusted with that, actually, to finish there. I'm not even sure he's on the red to the middle. It's hard up against the red that he's close to. Now this now is a tough shot. Well,
25.
I think closely followed by an even tougher one on the black, if he plays it. A rueful smile, he doesn't want to be playing this. Of course, should it go in, he'll probably win the frame where the ball's at. There couldn't be any more spread than this. Nope. Tough.
And a chance for
Ronnie
Hull to
O'Sullivan,
make
25.
even a decisive counter-attack with the Reds so invitingly spread.
Yeah, very important open, this mid-range red, not a gimme.
One.
Well, could we see a big moment in the match here, potentially, with Robin playing well, clearly. Now he's got over his nerves. Chances like this don't come all the while against O'Sullivan.
Eight. Nine.
Didn't leave himself an angle on that red from which he could retain black ball position. Still not too bad, but not back in prime position yet.
$11.
Yes, Clive, nor is that perfect.
$12.
Good recovery. That was missable.
$17. $18.
Well, a rest shot.
24.
Run through, presumably on the black here. No problem at all.
25.
Into the lead with that black.
32. $33. $40. $41.
So this time short on the blue, which means through bulk, where his first aim is not to hit a bulk colour on the way up, or of course on the way back down the table. Oh, that'll be okay. Again, I'm not
46.
exactly sure how he played that or what he played on.
I think he was playing on red to left middle.
He's played a few excellent recovery shots in the last frame and a half. Not always been in perfect position. The match is at a very interesting stage. If he does convert this chance and make it 2-all, of course,
52.
he's very much in there. It didn't appear that way at 2-0 down. Once again, just the cue ball travelling a bit too far.
53.
Very awkward queuing for pink, which was his intended next ball. Very nicely cued.
Yes, and red colour is all he needs.
58. $59.
Very good effort this.
64.
A frame winner barring snookers. If he can knock this red in, that would put the outcome of the frame beyond doubt.
Thank you. 65.
It's going to be 2-all. This has been a sterling effort from Robin Hull because he's been half out of position several times and has kept going through knocking in a missable pot.
74.
Can't make it back-to-back centuries. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. He did make a century in the last frame, but it was 83. This, with a clearance, would be 99.
$81.
Yeah, we've had a break of over 80 in every frame, though. It's been a really good match so far.
86. $92.
First two frames to O'Sullivan, breaks of 88 and 101. Next two frames to Hull, breaks of 83 and 99. It's 2-all with 3 to play.
Welcome back to the Champion of Champions match between Ronnie O'Sullivan and Robin Hull. O'Sullivan took the opening 2 frames in this Group 3 encounter before the man from Finland levelled the match by winning the next 2. O'Sullivan has regained the lead as we pick up the action in the 6th.
Well, once O'Sullivan missed the red, he couldn't know where it was going to go. As it's happened, he's left Hull a possible starter to left middle.
One.
Yes, like you say, it was the only red he could stick, but that often happens when you're under a little bit of pressure. Didn't want Robin in first here. We've seen how well he's scoring when he's in.
Six.
Earlier made breaks of 83 and 99, and coming back from 2-0 down to 2-all.
Seven.
It's just a question of whether those two reds both pot to the right corner. I think they might, but he's not got a particularly wide angle on this black. Just standing behind them, he's got to make this with a bit of pace on the ball. Tricky taking that route. It's quite difficult to get in behind them with a screw shot. Wanted to be probably straight on one of the reds.
Yeah, I think the necessary side spin had almost gone before the cue ball reached the side cushion. Needed to spin it out further up the table.
Yes, and somehow he's not on anything.
Robin Hull. 40.
Well, that was a really good chance. I think Ronnie will be most relieved that the shot he played only left 14 points.
Perfect length. Trouble here.
Yes, Clive, and trouble. And I get the feeling Robin is sizing up this red to the right corner, finishing low on the black if it goes in. But again, it's the red that you miss, should he miss, that is the one you can leave up.
The pot was difficult, but no more difficult than the safety.
No, and maybe a red to the left middle, which is something that Robin could never have thought about leaving. And if this goes in, he's right in behind the black. It's a golden chance. Didn't think he'd miss it, I have to be honest. Didn't believe it had that much difficulty about it.
I don't think it turned in unduly on the nap. Oh dear, oh dear. That was a good chance.
Yes, I think his concentration was divided there between the pot and just getting up into perfect position. He forgot the obvious, which we've all done. I'm pretty sure he didn't play on the pink there.
7. 8. 13. 14.
Nicely done.
21. 22.
'I think that's more than suitable, that shot. He'd be delighted.
27.
Should he go on and win, which he hasn't done yet, but it could be around 5 minutes away. I wonder how he'll feel about this. Will he be happy? A good workout, made to play somewhere near his best. You never know with Ronnie, because occasionally he gets to the point where he gets disappointed,
35.
almost disgusted with his own game. And he doesn't sort of recover very
36.
quickly, and he never really believes it's just nice to win. It's how he wins that means the most to him.
$43.
That looks like a pretty significant split of the Reds.
Still a bit of work to do.
The pot not a problem, but he's given some thought to position. Decided in the end that he wasn't going to be cannoning one of the baulk colours.
Yeah, there wasn't much room to go through, actually, between brown and where the yellow is. So it was a fine shot.
49. 50. 57. 58.
I certainly wouldn't be playing on the red along the cushion rail, because it's not his concern. He'd like to leave it there. So, match ball coming up. And it's been a good match, Clive, hasn't it?
66.
It has. It's had a bit of everything, actually. Breaks of 88 and 101 from O'Sullivan in the first 2 frames. Runs of 83.99 from Hull
73.
in the 3rd and 4th.
Ronnie O'Sullivan. 73.
And is that 73 break enough? Well, it probably is.
I think Robin was collecting all his belongings together, actually, and he's got to play on. 59 with 51 on. He really has to. You never know if he can get it down to 1 red, but he's gathering his stuff together.
At least Hull has done himself justice. Shaky start, but made a couple of good frame-winning breaks and competed pretty well in the last 2 frames as well. Not so used to playing on television, of course, as O'Sullivan is. And I think O'Sullivan can be reasonably satisfied with this opening performance.
Well, that's the point. I mean, marks out of 10 for this, I reckon about 7, because he scored well. If you asked him, he'd probably say about 2, because he makes things, you know, he sets such high standards and he doesn't like it when he's not playing to that high level all the time.
O'Sullivan has no great history of losing frames from snookers needed.
One.
I would like to have been on the black. Although his hopes are slender indeed of taking the match into a 7th frame.
6. Robin Hull, 6.
So that surely is it. Even if the cue ball goes in,
1.
the red won't be coming back.
Eight.
A good start to the tournament anyway. Ronnie O'Sullivan has won the Champion of Champions twice. Didn't enter last year, but a satisfactory
50.
opening to his attempt to win it for a 3rd time.
17. 20. 24.
So Sullivan's top breaks, 88, 101, and in this frame 73.
29. 35.
And that's how Ronnie O'Sullivan beat Robin Hull by 4 frames to 2.